Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, Chief Astrologer for janspiller.com with your monthly horoscope, and this one is for you, Aries, for September 2021. As we come into the first week of the month, that is really the prime time to make a final push forward before we begin to feel the slowing effects of a Mercury retrograde that's coming in later this month. So you can use your Aries powers of initiation to light a fire for yourself and others during this first week of September. Now, this month's new moon is at 14 degrees Virgo, and it's on September 6th. This is going to support your intentions related to your daily work, as well as your health and wellness. Take some initial steps to commit yourself to a new goal before we enter the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde, which is on September 7th. So it's a nicely placed new moon this month. It gets in before we enter that Mercury retrograde shadow. Be sure and set those intentions. Now, as we head towards the next Mercury retrograde cycle, that is actual cycle is going to be September 27th to October 18th. So moving through the month, you're going to be well supported to begin building upon existing plans or agreements. And because this Mercury retrograde coming up is going to be in the sign of Libra, opposing your sun or your ascendant, if you're an Aries rising person, you could be working with commitments or agreements regarding partnership. Now, most people who follow astrology have learned a little bit about Mercury retrograde. It is a productive time for wrapping things up. It's not the time to make a new agreement or commitment. And for Aries, I'd say especially when it comes to relationships, since this is going to be a Mercury retrograde, as I said, opposing your sun, which really has to do with your interaction with others. It's going to be a better time to resolve unfinished business from the past, finishing up collaborative efforts. That could be a highly productive thing you can do if you've had a project in the works with one or more people. Then you can use the Mercury retrograde cycle to finish that up, and you can plan to establish new projects and agreements in early November. That's when we clear the influence of this Mercury retrograde cycle officially. Even though it ends October 18th, the shadow on the other side, as Mercury kind of catches up to where it was before it started the retrograde, will end on November 6th. Just keep all that in mind. Now, Venus will enter Scorpio on September the 10th and remain in this sign until October the 6th. So these days are going to be ideal for tending to your psychological needs and nurturing your close relationships. You can use this time to really dive deep into what's been hiding beneath the surface. And when you're working with astrology, tarot, I Ching, anything that's more of a metaphysical, spiritual type of pursuit, this is really supported by Venus in Scorpio. It's all about seeing what is behind what's going on. If you've ever worked with any of these mediums, this is the time when Venus is in Scorpio. It's going to help you explore your psyche and maybe understand motivations of yourself and others a bit better. Now, your ruling planet Mars is going to finish its journey through Virgo on September the 13th and move into the harmonious sign of Libra on the 14th. So this could really shift your mindset from daily business. You'll probably have that on your mind more in the first half of the month. On the 14th, when Mars goes into Libra, you might be thinking more about personal dealings and important partnerships. This can include platonic friendships, romantic partners, as well as business partners. And because we're heading for that Mercury retrograde cycle, just remember the last few weeks of the month are going to be the time to finish team efforts, and you could actually have some success renegotiating an existing agreement. Now, this month's full moon is going to be September 20th at 28 degrees of Pisces. This is going to illuminate ideas and feelings that may have been buried in your subconscious mind. Use the energy of this full moon to acknowledge and release unhelpful thoughts. We all have some of those floating around. The Pisces full moon is a great time to bid them farewell. And they're taking up some valuable real estate in your brain. It's a great time to clear that out. Creative projects are also going to be really well supported at this full moon. Now, September 22nd, the sun moves into the sign of Libra, and this date also marks the fall equinox in the northern hemisphere and the spring equinox in the southern hemisphere. But all over the world, it's the initiation of Libra season, according to Western astrology, which is what we're doing here. So this means the energies of Libra are initiated around the date of this equinox every year. And for Aries sun and rising people, this can mean a time where your energy is spent interacting with others and seeking fair agreements. Libra energy is very much about equality. It's generally a good time for partnership, though there could be challenges to resolve that require your negotiating skills. So you can make the most of this month's astrology. You're going to want to come in strong during the first week of the month, then prepare to slow down and wrap things up, as well as examine some of your close relationships. Now, I hope you can make the most of September's astrology. Be safe and be well, and I will see you here next time with your monthly horoscope.